Drive into left field for a base hit will start things off.
The shortstop, number 18, Dane Hutchin.
That'll bring up Dane Hutchin.
Heartbreaking loss for the Pacers in Game 2 of this series. But it is what it is. All the protesting in the world isn't going to change it. Quick throw to first, but not in time. A little interesting fact, had that game got rained out, we would have gone back to the last full inning, which would have had the Pacers win that game 9-7. That ball lifted high into center field, and Price will reach over and squeeze it for out number 1.
The right fielder, number 28, Jeremy Hyde.
That brings up Jeremy Hyde with 1 on and 1 down. Another check throw over to first there. However, Ferruto was able to make it back in time. Foul ball there, and that'll be an 0-1 count. Infield for the Pacers, we have Max Schoen behind the plate. Brian Pereira over at first, Skyler Mercado at second, John Banks at third, Tyler Ammerman at short. Over in left field is Chaz Powell, center field is Mitchell Price, and Niall Goings is the right fielder. And there's a ball hit to Goings out in right field. And he'll come on in to make the catch for the second out.
First baseman, number 40, Taylor Walker.
That'll bring up Taylor Walker.
Walker, who lived through a plucking from Jost. Fastball right in the meat of his back and lived to tell about it. And he's playing here in this game.
Yeah, Jobs had a very unfortunate outing.
Well, I mean, that rain just came
Yeah,
pouring down.
it was the rain.
The grip, it was obviously a frustrated, especially more noticeable when Jimmy Lynch came in. Just could not get his handle on the ball. And, I mean, he's very animated, and Jimmy Lynch is a pretty docile creature. He doesn't really get that animated very often.
So no 1 count here, and that's going to be a line drive foul.
And to go back to what I was saying, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's, I think the home plate umpire was trying to get that game done with. There are some critics out there that would suggest maybe he should have, when the pitches started getting as crazily wild, I mean, I don't think Jobs has hit a single batter all season.
Coming into that game,
hitting 4.
Yep. Not a single hit batter. That's a ground ball up the middle, and that'll be in for a base hit. So with 2 outs, there'll be runners on first and second. Yeah, Jobs came into that game without a single hit batter, and he wound up hitting 3 in a row.
He hit 3
in a row, and then Jimmy Lynch came on and hit 1 as well. But when you hit, and I believe he hit his 3 batters in a row in less than 6 pitches. So obviously something was up with either his grip on the ball or something. So, but like you're saying, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
So with 2 down, we'll see Daniel Pardo come up. First pitch finding the strike zone for an early 0-1 count. One pitch, lined right over at Pereira, who's hugging the first base line for the final out. So 2 hits, no runs, no errors, and no score as we go into the bottom of the first inning. And welcome to the bottom of the first inning. No score, as Skylar Mercado will lead off for the Pacers' first at-bats. Mercado will face off against the starting pitcher for the Falcons, Cody Hughes. Hughes will have Krabby catching for him. That is Tyler Krabby, as that pitch finds the strike zone for strike one. Over at first base, we have Taylor Walker. Matthew Ferruto is at second. The third baseman is J.D. Minor. Shortstop, Dane Hutchin. Over in left field, we have Daniel Pardo. Center fielder is Thomas Brady. And over in right field, we have Jeremy Hyde. And now we have a 1-1 count to Skylar Mercado.
Mercado, who led off for the Pacers in game one of this doubleheader. Game two of the series.
And now he has a 2-1 count as that one misses outside.
Kenny looking for a hot bat to lead off with, and seems to be interchanging players as needed, I guess. 2-1 pitch.
Just missing high there. And the count now 3-1. Three-one pitch, slow grounder down the third base line, and it's just gonna roll foul. So that foul ball, the count will be full at 3-2. Nice to see many of the fans that were here for game one are sticking around for game two, even with all the rain and everything that happened, and the delays, of course.
Well, it's one of those rare chances you get to enjoy a Pacer baseball game here at home at the Burt and not be inundated by pollen.
That is true.
Little
The
dousing of rain. It might have cost us a W, but
our lungs thank us.
our lungs are thankful.
And the 3-2 pitch. That's going to be a fair ball down the third base line. That's going into the corner for trouble. Mercado's going to head over to second, and slipping in the outfield is Pardo. And Mercado's just going to stay over at second base.
And that ball kind of got stuck back in the corner. Their left fielder who, you know, earlier in game one of today's doubleheader, he slipped out there. And
Warning track is
he's
quite
looking
slick.
a little banged up as he's kind of hunched over there in left field, but looks like he's going to make the best of it.
Seems to be walking all right. Maybe just a little.
A little gingerly, though.
Now that you mention it, yeah, I see it. But he's not calling for any attention, so it looks like he's going to toughen it out.
His pitcher is looking out for him, giving him plenty of time to
All right.
figure things out as he slowly gets back into position. And we're into business as Chas Powell comes up to the plate with a runner on second, no outs here at the bottom of the first.
Chas Powell hit a 2-run home run in the last game. And he'll watch the first pitch go by for strike one. Almost thought about going for it.
Chas Powell's, he's wanting something on the inside of the plate.
Oh, 1 pitch. He's going to foul that one back and out of play.
He got one over the middle of the plate, but it had a little extra pace on it.
Looking like the scouts are still in the crowd, too. However, I don't see them with their scorebooks anymore, so maybe they're just enjoying the game. Figure, already here, why not? 0-2 count to Powell. He's going to go for that one. That's really low. It's going to be a ground ball to second. Quick throw to first is in time for the first out.
That looked like he used an 8-iron there, going down low to get it. But advances the runner to third. That's going to be out Brian Pereira up to the plate with a runner on third, 1 out.
I think judging on his position, he might have been going with a sand wedge. Trying to get it out of the sand trap.
Yeah, he had to go out of the dirt. You're right.
Brian Pereira up now with 1 down, runner on third. Pereira is usually a threat to send one deep, if not out of the park entirely. That pitch outside for ball one.
Fastball tailing away out of the strike zone for the lefty batter.
The 1-0. Also going to be outside. So a 2-0 count to Pereira. Two-0 pitch. Also going to be outside, and 3-0 is the count. And the 3-0 in the dirt. So Pereira walks on 4 straight pitches. And will put runners on the corners for the DH, Zach Moon.
14, Zach Moon.
Rocking a different walk-up song than normal.
Maybe trying to change things up a little bit. And the first pitch to Moon, going to come inside for ball one. Had me fooled. I thought that was going to come right at Moon and beam him, but had a little motion on it. There's the 1-0. Swing and a miss by Moon, evens the count at 1-1.
He swung right over the top of that ball. He's definitely not seeing it as well as he was earlier this season.
And the 1-1 pitch, and that's going to hit Moon right on the arm. And he'll head on down to first. And that'll make the bases loaded for Max Schoen.
Some question about whether or not he tried to get out of the way of that. Some folks from North Georgia might have not appreciated the fact that he got a pass on that small effort.
Well, I think Montevallo fans are going to be a little bit more forgiving of it after having several of their batters get hit by pitches. They may be like, okay, we'll just give it to him.
They're going to have a little talk out on the mound. We're going to take a second. We'll be right back.
And the little meeting on the mound is over, and Max Schoen digs in. First pitch to Schoen. Pretty much right down the middle there for strike one.
Schoen got bases loaded, 1 out.
Opportunity here to take an early lead, and
He has a history of pouncing on such opportunities.
as he did last night. The 0-1's going to have to wait a little bit.
Even Chuck Norris says, man, that kid can hit.
Coming from a man who has a third fist under his chin. And there's going to be a fly ball into left field.
We'll get a tag at third. That's going to be an easy run there for Mercado as he trots on in for first run of game 3 in the series. Pacers take a rare lead early in the game, 1-0.
Mitchell Price.
That'll bring up Mitchell Price with runners on first and second and 2 down. And the first pitch to Price is going to be grounded foul.
That'll get lost on top of the dugout for the Pacers.
At some point, we'll see one of them hop up on the roof. And
usually it's Hunter Hubbard, of all people. One of the biggest boys on the team. Maybe he's just stepping up there, and maybe that's why.
maybe part of his daily workout. I see actually a second baseball up there, so maybe we won't.
I think they like to collect a few before they go up there and get them. They become batting practice balls pretty quick.
The 0-1. That one will be grounded foul as well.
And I'm watching Mitchell Price. He's actually dropping his knees down when he goes to swing, and he's eliminating any hope for any power when he does that. He does that with a pitch on the outside, he's going to swing and miss.
And the 0-2. There's a high fly ball into left
That's
field,
gone.
and that one is going to be gone.
And I will say, he did not bend his knees as he hit that one.
As you were saying it, Mitchell Price sends a 3-run shot over the left field fence to give the Pacers a 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning.
It's nice when you see the smaller guys go yard. Not that he's a tiny guy, but compared to houses like Pereira and Moon, he just opened that can up quick. 4-run, or 3-run blast.
So with that, we will see John Banks come to the plate with 2 outs and nobody on.
It looks like Niall Goins is going to be on deck for the Pacers.
Goings out in right field for today's game, as Zach Moon is DHing. That first pitch is low for ball 1.
Well, you know, in all fairness to Zach, I mean, he was hot hitting as a DH. And getting out there and having to play right field, I'm not saying that's why, but that may have some effect on his at-bats.
And the 1-0 misses. Count now 2-0. Yeah, sometimes the smallest things can just mess with your mindset. And in
Baseball players are so delicate.
Yes, indeed.
Not that my women volleyball players don't have their delicate moments too.
2-0 comes inside and almost catches Banks. I don't know if he tried to sell that, but count 3-0.
Or me for that matter. I'll tear up at a Hallmark commercial. The 3-0 pitch. No runners on as they've all been cleared out by the monster hit of Mitchell Price. That ball high and inside for ball 4. And just like that, we can't find a strike as Niall Goins comes up to the plate.
You know how you tell me not to mention things on the things I probably should have mentioned on the air?
Are you about to make me cry?
I might.
Don't you dare. I'll come at you like a tiger monkey.
That would be quite a sight to see.
I think Spider Monkey is what I was going for there, to quote the movie. But now it's going to come up to plate.
I don't know, Tiger Monkey sounds a bit more fierce. The Goings at the plate with 2 down and Banks on first.
First pitch called strike. Good looking fastball there. So he found his strike zone. Did Mr. Hughes out of Phoenix City, Alabama. I've actually been to Phoenix City.
I have not. 0-1 outside, evens the count at 1-1. Actually never even been to Alabama.
Pretty state. Very green, and you want to avoid it during tornado season.
Yeah, that would be a
tip
smart
from
option.
Chip right there.
Tip from Chip.
So the 1-1 pitch, runner on first.
Swing and a miss. Goings ahead of that one.
He's just ahead of that one.
Now the count 1-2 to Goings. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss by Goings, and he goes down on strikes to end the bottom of the first. But not before the Pacers get 4, 3 of which came on a home run by Price. 4-0 to score, top of the second coming up. And welcome to the top of the second inning. Pacers leading 4-0. And leading off for Montevallo, we have Thomas Brady.
And Hunter Hubbard on top of the Pacer dugout getting baseballs.
You called it, as that one's grounded foul right up at Hubbard.
And he'll be able to make a play on this one.
And the ball comes rolling down the
got
roof.
Lined up, he's squared up to his textbook coverage.
And he scoops it up for the perfect grab.
Good effort by Mr. Hubbard.
The 1-1 pitch.
Good looking breaking ball there, but just missing high. Make the count 2-1.
That's going to be a high fly ball into center field. Price is chasing after it. He's going to be on the track. He's at the wall, and that one is gone. A solo home run by Thomas Brady cuts the Pacer lead from 4-0 to 4-1.
You know, Tom Brady was fantastic in Ted 2. The movie, I thought his cameo was top-notch.
I haven't seen the movie.
If you're into stuffed animals that talk and say the crudest things, Ted 2 is your movie.
I would imagine so. Dominic DeVille comes up now after the home run. And he'll watch the first pitch go by for strike one. Yeah, 1 pitch. Just missing. Evens the count at 1-1. That one fouled back, making the count 1-2. Swing and a miss on the 1-2 pitch, and DeVille goes down on strikes.
The catcher, number 20, Tyler Krabby.
That will bring up Tyler Krabby, the catcher. That's a high fly ball into left field.
I don't think it's going to carry quite as much.
Yep, Pal has a beat on it and makes the catch for the second out.
As they said in the movie, is that which movie was it? Major League. It was too high. It's too high. Just too high.
It's fair, it's foul. It's fair, it's foul.
And J.D. Minor's going to come up to the plate as we slide into an early game delirium here as commentators. Ball fouled out of play. Left it over into a very empty but wet picnic area.
That's actually one of my favorite moments from that movie when they're saying, it's fair, it's foul. I don't know what it is, but it's just one of those things that gets me. 0-1 pitch in the dirt, evens the count at 1-1.
And I think you're confusing that with Little Major League.
Little Major League.
Or something like that.
No, there was a scene where there's swing and a miss for strike 2. Let's get back to this game here.
That would be the appropriate thing to do here.
That's what we're here for. So what, in between innings, I'll look it up online. 1-2 pitch on the outside part of the plate, and down looking goes Minor for the final out.
We'll visit Google. Pacers are holding on to a 3-run lead, 4-1, as we go into the bottom of the second. We'll be right back right after this.
And welcome to the bottom of the second inning. 4-1 the score in favor of the Pacers. And Tyler Ammerman will lead off. And that pitch is outside for ball 1. And the 1-0. Also outside, making the count 2-0. The 2-0 pitch to Ammerman is going to be a high fly ball into left field, and it's going to go foul. Oh, so close to almost being a home run, but it hooked foul at the last moment for strike 1.
Nice to see him put a shot into the ball, though.
Yeah?
See shortstops and center fielders hitting it that long. There's something up.
You were right, though. Now that I think about it, the movie I was thinking about was Rookie of the Year.
That's what it
That's
was.
the one.
With the little kid.
Yeah, the little kid. I get all these baseball movies confused. So 2-1 the count to Ammerman. And he's going to let that one go by for ball 3.
They finally got the strike up there. It was long enough on both accounts. 3-1 is your count.
Ammerman's going to hit a line drive into left field. And that one is going to bounce off the wall. Ammerman's going to hustle in for second. Here comes the throw. A good throw, and not in time, however, as Ammerman slides in for a leadoff double.
A good effort by shortstop to follow up that monster home run by Mitchell Price. With a nice little double action. And that's going to bring Skylar Mercado to the plate, second baseman.
Doubled and scored a run his first at bat. Sure, Ammerman will take that double. He probably wanted the home run, but I'd be more than happy with a double. First pitch to Mercado.
Breaking ball, catching the outside edge of the plate for strike one.
Is the 0-1 pitch. Missing outside, evens the count at 1-1. And the 1-1. Missing a little bit high there, making the count 2-1. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss by Mercado. That'll even the count again at 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch. Outside, making the count full. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, and a runner on second for Mercado.
So finally we get the pitch called. Here comes the windup.
That's a high fly ball into right field, and that's going to go back towards the track and be caught by Hyde for the first out.
And Emberman is going to be able to advance to third on the tag. And I'll bring Chaz Powell up to the plate.
Number 12, Chaz Powell.
Mr. Personality, Mr. Moped.
He has a moped.
He actually gets around on a moped, although I understand that it's out of commission right now.
I feel my respect for the guy just kind of
No, it's got to go up. He chose that. He chooses to go
That's the problem. So runner on third for Mr. Moped, Chaz Powell.
That ball low and in the dirt for ball one.
Powell grounded out his first time up.
We're talking about a gentleman who came out on the day they recognized teachers who have had, or faculty who have had an impact. And he came out with his pants hiked up, looked like Steve Urkel, or a photo negative of Steve Urkel.
That pitch finding the strike zone to even the count at 1-1. I guess some people can get away with it.
Chaz Powell is the kind of guy that can.
Here's the 1-1 pitch.
That ball going to miss low and away for a ball two. 2-1 is your count. You know Chaz Powell is a character and a half just by his walk-up music.
That's true. That's very true. Here's the 2-1 pitch. It's going to be lined foul.
Hooked it just a bit foul.
And Hubbard goes running out after it. Seems to be the designated foul fetcher.
You can time his sprint with a calendar. And that sprint became a slow stroll.
And now it's a stop. Swing and a miss by Powell. Ball's in the dirt, though, so he's going to take off for first. They'll throw it over there for the second out.
And Hubbard's still on his way. He can get out there and get that ball. Nobody's in the bullpen. It's early in the game. So that's a long walk for a big guy. Brian Pereira is going to come up to the plate for the Pacers.
Pereira walked and scored back in the first inning when he made his first plate appearance. First pitch is low to Pereira for ball 1. And the 1-0 fouled off by Pereira to even the count. Here's the 1-1. That's a high fly ball into deep center field. That one's going to go back towards the track, and it will be caught for the third and final out of the second inning. So we're going into the top of the third. Pacers leading 4-1.
And welcome back at the top of the third. Pacers lead 4-1. Leading off for Montevallo is Matthew Ferrudo. Marlowe's cruising for the most part. They're able to catch up to him every blue moon. That one fouled straight back. Made the count 0-1.
Ferrudo, 1 for 1 today. Had a single to lead off the first inning. And that was about it. So here's the 0-1 pitch. Foul back. Count 0-2.
Marlowe is throwing hard now, and you know that when the ball is fouled straight back. He's hitting his targets from the looks of it. Now went in the dirt for ball 1. 1-2 is your count.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Be lined over to short and caught by Ammerman for the first out.
Called that one off the end of the bat.
Shortstop number 18.
Easy play for the shortstop.
That'll bring up Dane Hutchin. Flew out his first time up.
Dane Hutchin out of Colorado Springs, Colorado. He's a long way from home. Hot shot to first.
Pereira grabs a hold of it and take it himself over there for the second out.
The 1 pitch. One out.
Fielder number 28, Jeremy Hyde.
As I said, I realize that might be misleading as there are 2 outs.
People would understand it.
I hope so, as Jeremy Hyde comes to the plate.
Hyde also flew out his first at-bat. That pitch low for ball 1. And the 1-0. Lower part of the strike zone there evens the count at 1-1. One pitch missing low, making the count 2-1. That pitch missing high.
Looked like he was trying to throw a curveball and change his mind as he released it.
And 3-1 pitch. Check swing, and he did not go around, so on his way to first with the 2-out walk is Jeremy Hyde.
The first baseman, Taylor Walker.
And that brings up Taylor Walker. Singled his first time up. He has a runner on first with 2 down. Pitch inside for ball 1. We have a little meeting on the mound between Marlowe and Schoen. And now Mercado and Schoen. One-0 pitch will be fouled off and even the count. One pitch popped up down the right field line, but foul.
Almost to the bullpen. Number 42 for Falcons. Trying to make a play for it. It's on the other side of a very tall fence.
That would be Pondick trying to go for it.
I thought I recognized the number.
And he came in last game.
Last game.
So 1-2 the count to Walker. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. No need to appeal there. Schoen was pointing out to the field ump, but home plate umpire said he went, and down he goes for the final out. Pacers still leading 4-1 going into the bottom of the 3rd. And welcome to the bottom of the third as Zach Moon's going to hit one down the third base line. That'll be a base hit.
And whatever the ginger steps that I saw, the left fielder for the Falcons, he seems to have recovered. I mean, he ranged over and got that ball pretty quick.
Yep, held Zach Moon to a single. Had that been a speedier runner, he might have been a double, but... So Max Schoen comes to the plate now. Sack fly in the first. He is a runner on first.
No, I thought she walked out with that. Oh, you know what? Right, it is.
And that pitch is going to miss outside for ball one.
It's here. Okay, see ya. Bye.
1-0. Missing inside, count out 2-0. Pitch. That'd be lined into left field for another base hit. So back-to-back base hits put runners on first and second with nobody out.
And Mitchell Price, hammer and homer. Mitchell Price coming to the plate.
Keep him from bending his knees from now on, if that's the result.
Yeah, I almost wonder if he didn't hear me, as you're about to see a call to the bullpen for the Falcons.
Well, there it is right now. So we'll be back. Pacers leading 4-1 in the bottom of the third. And welcome back. Mitchell Price comes up, and he will be facing off against the new pitcher, Landon Smith. 2 on and nobody out.
Out of Bell City, Alabama.
Price goes to show a bunt there. Pulls it back in time for ball one.
So the 1-0 pitch. Runners on first and second.
There's a bunt there. As it goes on the third base line. Foul.
And it's going to be a foul. Make the count 1-1.
I'm looking on here. Yep, there's one. There's a Mobile, Alabama. Hoping he comes into the game so I can hear your Forrest Gump impression.
Ironically, that portion of the movie was filmed down in Savannah, Georgia.
That's interesting enough. So a 1-1 count to Mitchell Price.
Of course, the Vietnam scenes were filmed at Fripp Island. So,
I mean, they all have budgets. Here's the 1-1 to Price, who shows his bunt again and pulls it back, making the count 2-1.
just missing outside.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. It's going to be a fly ball into right field this time. And that will be caught by Hyde for the first out.
And Zach Moon will venture over to third. I put runners on the corner for Banks as he comes up to the plate.
Third baseman number 17, John Banks.
Banks walked his first time up. Also looking at the Montevallo roster, there happens to be somebody from Niagara Falls, New York, near my neck of the woods.
That's almost Canada.
Very close. Open up your bedroom window, look across, and there it is. But John Banks up to the plate now with runners on the corners and one down. There goes a fly ball into left field, but it's going to go foul.
That was a nice little shot there, but just a little early on the swing.
So an 0-1 count to Banks. That one grounded foul. Count 0-2.
On deck, Mr. Niall Goings.
That pitch outside, making the count 1-2. One-two pitch. Just gonna miss low, evens the count at 2-2. And the 2-2 pitch in the dirt, and now the count full. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners on the corners. 4-1 the score here in the bottom of the third inning. And 3-2 pitch misses. So Banks will draw the walk, and the bases will be loaded for Niall Goings.
The right fielder, number 34, Niall Goings.
Here's the first pitch to Goings, and that's going to miss low for ball one. One 0 pitch. That one's going to find the strike zone, evening the count at 1-1. The 1-1 to Goings. It's going to be a line drive into left field. And that'll be caught for the second out, but they're going to tag up. And Moon will come in to score. A little slide there, although there was no play at the plate. Regardless, extends the pace to lead, 5-1 now.
Interesting that Moon had slid in there, and there was some. Coach Thomas was challenging the guys on why they didn't slide last night a couple of times, and Moon was one of them, and he definitely made a point to slide that time.
So Tyler Emmerman coming to the plate now with runners on first and second and 2 down. I'm going to be popped up down the first base side and out of play. Emmerman doubled to lead off the second his first time up. However, the rest of his men were unable to bring him home. Oh, 1 pitch, finding the strike zone, count now 0-2.
They cut the strike zone right in half. Up, down, left, and right. Right in the heart of the plate.
And the 0-2 pitch will be low, making the count 1-2. Luckily, after the rain, the area's kind of dried up a little bit. However, I hear we're due for a little more later in the evening today. And the 1-2. The inside evens the count at 2-2.
Yeah, I think that was just a little hint of what is to come. I think tomorrow is 90% chance of rain. We'd like, if at all possible, to wait till then before that happens. Don't want to put a damper on the traditional Easter egg hunts, but
that's true.
You can hunt for eggs inside the house just as well.
That's what I did when I was younger. And the 2-2 pitch in the dirt. That's going to get away, and hustling on over to third is showing. So that'll make the count full with 2 down, and now runners on the corners for Ammerman. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That's going to be a line drive foul.
Left fielder doing Hunter Hubbard a solid by going after that and throwing it in.
I don't want to have to make Hunter trek all the way out there again. Here's the 3-2 pitch once again, and that's going to be popped up right on the outfield grass, and that will be caught by Walker for the final out. But the Pacers get one and extend their lead 5-1 going into the fourth. And welcome to the top of the fourth inning. Daniel Pardo to lead it off for Montevallo as they trail the Pacers 5-1. Pardo flew out in the first inning, his first time up. And that pitch is going to be in there for strike one. And the 0-1 pitch missing, evening the count at 1-1.
It's almost the identical pitch. I would have said it could have gone either way, and that just proved that it did.
And again, very similar pitch.
This one, if he throws the same pitch, it'll be 2-1 or 2-2.
And the 1-2. Popped up, staying in the infield. And Banks calling for it. No, it's going over to Ammerman instead. So Banks called for it, then Ammerman says, no, I got it.
Welcome to Guess Who's Going to Field This One. If you guess Banks, you guessed wrong.
And you have to leave. Oh. So Pardo down. And that'll bring up Thomas Brady, who hit a solo home run his first time up.
And it was fantastic in Ted, too.
Again, we're going with that.
Well, Brent wasn't here to hear it the first time.
Okay, that's true.
That one fouled out of play for an 0-1 count.
All I know is when they filmed that movie, it was incorrect, though, because they said he was a 3-time champion. However, right after that movie came out, he ended up getting a 4th. So 1-1 count here to, not Pardo, Brady. Pardo just popped out.
Pardo was not in Ted 2.
Swing and a miss there by Brady, making the count 1-2. And the count now 2-2. And that one fouled back and out of play. Keeping the count at 2-2. And a call time here by Brady. 2-2 pitch going to be grounded up the middle and into center field for a base hit. So that'll put a runner on first with one out for Dominic DeVille, the DH, who struck out in his first at-bat. Little check throw over there to first. Brady diving back in time.
Good looking pitch there called strike.
Pretty much right down the middle, too. And the 0-1. Just barely going to miss there, making the count 1-1. And the 1-1, going to be grounded into left field for a base hit. Back-to-back base hits, putting runners on first and second with only one down.
Catcher number 20, Tyler Krabby.
That's going to bring up Tyler Krabby to the plate for the Falcons.
Krabby flew out his first at-bat. Foul tip there. And make the count 0-1. The 0-1 is going to be lined into left field. Coming on and making the catches, pal. He's going to quickly throw it in, trying to double up, but able to make it back was Brady.
He didn't miss it by but a couple of steps there. It was a good little throw by Chaz Powell.
Almost looked like he misread it for a second. He was kind of going slowly, and then he had to pick up his pace a little bit.
Yeah, ball was probably tailing away from him a little bit. He had to run that one down. And that's going to bring J.D. Minor up to the plate.
Struck out looking his first time up. Comes up with runners on first and second with two away. No one finding the strike zone there, making the count 0-1. Swing and a miss. Got him chasing one upstairs, and the count 0-2.
Something about that high heater just makes you not be able to swing at it. It's a tough pitch to lay off for some reason. I've been a victim of it many times, and that was in T-ball.
Slow hopper over to third. Banks gets it. Quick throw to second, and just in time to get the final out. So a good bit of fielding there by Banks. We'll end the inning as we're going into the bottom of the fourth. Pacers lead 5-1. Skylar Mercado to lead off the bottom of the fourth for the Pacers as they lead the Falcons 5-1. And the first pitch to Mercado is going to miss for ball one. The 1-0. Popped up. Shallow right field. And making the catch is Ferrudo for the first out.
Left fielder number 12, Chaz Powell.
That'll bring Chaz Powell to the plate. Powell 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a groundout. That ball in the dirt for ball one. 1-0 the count to Pell. The 1-0 is also going to be low. Make the count 2-0. That pitch finding the strike zone. 2-1 the count. That one's going to be sent out of play, foul. Two-two pitch. That's going to be fouled off as well. And it'll keep the count at 2-2. Another 2-2 pitch in the dirt, and the count now full to Powell. And the 3-2 pitch. That's going to miss and go to the backstop, so Powell draws the walk with one out.
The first baseman, number 32, Brian Pereiro.
Now Pereira coming to the plate. He has a runner on first with only one down. And we're going to have a little meeting on the mound here. And a call to the bullpen. So while the new pitcher warms up, we'll take a break here. Bottom of the fourth inning, Pacers leading 5-1. And welcome back, folks. Brian Pereira coming up. And he'll be facing off against the brand new pitcher from Montevallo. And Pereira's going to ground that one foul down the first base line. New pitcher is Drew Mullinax for Montevallo.
It won't be an official error on their bullpen, but that ball got right through the defensive effort of the player out of the bullpen for the Falcons.
A 1-1 count to Pereira.
Make a note in the corner of your scorebooks. Small E.
And the 1-1 pitch. Fouled back.
And
And caught.
Caught by the pitcher off the backstop. Like, welcome to the Gong Show.
That was actually quite impressive there.
Mullinax showing his defensive prowess as he jumps off that mound and fields it.
And nothing came of it whatsoever except for a 1-2 count. One-two pitch. Check swing, fouling it off.
And that's going to come back on top of the Pacer dugout. So we may see Hunter Hubbard.
Nope,
Nope,
hold on.
that's-
It is.
oh.
Oh, so close.
Where are the cameramen when we need them? Fans, you missed out on a treat then. Take small things to amuse small minds, they say.
I guess you're right. 1-2 pitch again. That's going to be popped up into right field. And going to hook foul, and nobody's going to catch
Just
it.
out of their reach. Good hustle by both sides.
Yep, Ferrudo came all the way from second base trying to catch that one. Lost his hat in the process.
I remember at one point in time being able to run so fast my hat would fly off. Now I have to kind of do that whole, use my shoulders and cock my head back to make it fall off, and
Actually,
gust of wind would help.
the best way to do that is to just kind of lightly place it on your head. Then you don't have to worry about it. I know this because I never could run fast enough to do that.
Valid point. They always look cool, especially in little leagues. You always see little leaguers losing their hats or helmets as they round the bases. Because it looks cool as that ball is in the dirt. Well played by Krabby. You'd think after winning game 2, he'd be a little more cheerful.
Haha.
But up, bump. As I said in the second, delirium has kicked in, folks. You have the right to mute that button.
Press that mute button, you mean?
Many folks may not be hearing that as they have already done so. That ball fouled off his foot. Keeping the count 2-2. Runner on first, 1 out. Here at the bottom of the 4th.
Two-two pitch. Swing and a miss by Pereira. And he'll go down on strikes for the second out.
That's going to bring Zach Moon up to bat.
Moon's been hit by a pitch and singled, and he's come around to score on both of those plate appearances, at-bats, whatever you want to call them. Actually, you can technically call them both. One's a plate appearance, and an at-bat.
We give you options here at the Pacer Broadcasting Network.
Check throw over to first.
Just created that, PBN.
Sure could use the funding.
So Zach Moon digs in.
He's going to ground one to short.
Good play by the shortstop, and that'll be out number 3. So the Pacers go down. No runs, but we hold on to a 5-1 lead as we head to the top of the 5th. We'll be right back right after this.
And welcome to the top of the 5th inning. Pacers leading 5-1, and Matthew Ferrudo coming up to lead off the top half of the 5th for Montevallo. Ferrudo is 1 for 2 today with a base hit. Rocking a neon green bat.
I'm going to say, welcome back to the 80s, people.
Saw them using that during warm-ups earlier today, and I was wondering if anybody was going to bring it out. And there's a line drive base hit into left field.
Shortstop number 18, Dane Hutchin.
So leadoff man aboard for Montevallo, and we'll see Dane Hutchin come up 0 for 2 today. That one finding the strike zone for an 0-1 count. Quick throw over to first there. Trying to keep Ferrudo close. A 1 pitch missing, evening the count at 1-1. And the count now 2-1 is that one just missing outside. Runner goes from first, and there's going to be a ground ball into right field for a base hit. And that base hit, we'll see runners on the corners with nobody out.
So the first real adversity for Marlowe.
Right fielder number 28, Jeremy Hyde.
And Jeremy Hyde's going to come up to the plate. But runners on the corner, no out.
Hyde is 0 for 1 today with a walk. Pacer infield looking like they're willing to give up the run as they play back in hopes of getting the double play. And it looks like there's a little action going on in the Pacer bullpen.
Good looking breaking ball there, catching the inside edge of the plate for strike 1. High shot, center field. That's gone.
Yep.
Nope, off the fence. Mitchell Price just kind of lost it, I guess, because he just let that ball hit the fence and made no effort to go after it. He lost it. That's all I can think of. The way he gave up on it, I thought, well, I guess it's gone.
Yep, but bounced off the wall and it ended
Bottom
up scoring,
part of the wall,
yeah,
too.
scoring 2 runs. Almost got the play at the plate, however, the throw was a little off location.
Taylor Walker.
So an RBI double will cut the Pacer lead into a 5-3 lead.
And Taylor Walker's going to come up with a runner on second and no outs.
Grounder too short. Ammerman gets it, throws to third. Tag is applied in time for the first out. So they get the lead runner there.
And that's a risky play because you got to throw that one right on the spot, and he does. And Banks credit him with holding the tag.
Left fielder, Daniel Pardo.
That'll bring up Daniel Pardo. Pardo 0 for 2 today. Comes up with a runner on first. And only 1 out. Had to pause there, dramatic pause.
I say sure for you English majors out there. Nice looking pitch there. His breaking ball is working nicely on that, especially on the outer edge of the plate for left-handed batters. It just looks like it's going to sail way out left, and it just comes back in. And
0-1, that went in the dirt.
Effort by showing there to keep that ball in front of him.
It looked like it bounced right up into his chest. It bounced.
I think it
way in
did. It
front.
looked like a hockey goalie there.
Well, he is from Colorado, so he probably knows a thing or two about the sport.
Might have played it a little bit.
1-1 count to Pardo. And count now 2-1. Two-one pitch. That'll be fouled off to even the count. Two-two pitch. Lower part of the strike zone, and down looking goes Prado.
Or Pardo.
Prado. Prado's another guy.
It's better than Prado, which then we're talking fashion, I think. That's going to bring up Mr. Brady. Thomas Brady up to the plate, the center fielder. First pitch swinging and missing for strike one.
Oh, 1 pitch. Just going to miss. Evens the count at 1-1. One pitch finding the strike zone and count 1-2. Grounded to third. Banks has it. Long throw to first. Pereira stretches, and it's in time for the final out. But Montevallo gets 2 as the Pacer lead is cut to 5-3 going into the bottom of the 5th. welcome to the bottom of the 5th inning. Max Schoen will lead it off for the Pacers. 1 for 1 today with a sac fly and a base hit. Pacers leading 5-3. And the first pitch to Schoen is in there for strike 1. The 0-1 pitch, grounder to short, and over the head. Kind of bounced weird. And into left field. We'll see how they mark it. And they're going to give Schoen a hit. So a leadoff base hit by Max Schoen puts a runner on first. And Mitchell Price coming to the plate. 1 for 2 today with a 3-run home run back in the first inning. And Price shows bunt and bunting it backwards. And count 0-1. And the 0-1. Price goes to bunt it again, and he'll bunt it backwards again. That'll make the count 0-2.
Mullinax took a lot off that pitch.
And the 0-2. Fouled off by Price, keeping the count where it is. Once again, the 0-2 pitch. That's going to be popped up into left center field. And that will be caught by Brady for the first out.
Guys are going to bring up John Banks to the plate.
Third baseman, John Banks.
2 walks is what Banks has managed in both of his plate appearances. First pitch to Banks is high for ball 1. One-0 finding the strike zone to even the count at 1-1. That one's going to be popped up, foul, and out of play. So the count now 1-2 to Banks. Swing and a miss on the 1-2 pitch, and Banks goes down on strikes.
And that'll bring Niall Goings up to the plate.
Niall Goings.
Well, runner on first, 2 outs here at the bottom of the 5th.
Goings is 0 for 1 today with a sac fly and a strikeout. way ahead of that one as he swings and misses for strike one. Another throw over to first. Just going to try to keep showing close. Swing and a miss on the 0-1 pitch, and 0-2 the count to Goings. That one's going to miss inside, making the count 1-2. And Goings will ground that one foul, keeping the count at 1-2. And Goings calls time here. Stepping out to adjust his gloves before another 1-2 pitch.
Yeah, statistically speaking, I'd be looking for something a little off speed here.
Seems to like to
pitcher,
throw
and
that.
I've got it, though. I'm going to throw a heat on the outside edge of the plate.
Show and goes, and he will make it into second as that ball's in the dirt. And Krabby was unable to hold on to it.
He brought the heat on the inside, which I guess would be the other option.
The runner on second with 2 down and a 2-2 count to Niall Goings. That's a high fly ball into left field, and that one is going to be gone.
That is gone, and
A
that's what
home
I've been
run
wanting
for
to see
Niall
from him
Goings.
For a while. Niles hit that off the top of the light post. It actually bounced back into play. Got hung up in the lights. And Niall Goings going all natural on us, minus the shattering, exploding bulbs. And just like that, we lead 7-3. 2 outs here at the bottom of the 5th.
The shortstop, Tyler Ammerman.
I'll bring up Tyler Ammerman to the plate.
Ammerman is 1 for 2 today with a double and a flyout. And he'll swing the first pitch and miss it for strike one.
He about came out of his cleats as hard as he swung. He was inspired.
He wants to join the club. And the 0-1 just going to miss high, even in count at 1-1. Inside part of the plate, count now 1-2. Slow ground ball over to third, and unable to come up with it is Miner. So Banks will make it safely over to first on an infield base hit.
The second baseman, Skyler Mercado.
That'll bring up Skyler Mercado, 1 for 3 on the day with a double and a run scored. That pitch missing outside to Mercado for ball 1. 1-0 missing low, and now the count 2-0. Swing and a miss. Count now 2-1. Mercado looked like he was going for the fences with that swing, too.
You see a big guy like going, just go long like that. It's hard not to overswing.
And there's a high fly ball into right field, and it's heading towards the foul line, and it will drop foul. So there, the count will be 2-2 with 2 outs and a runner on first. 7-3 the score here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Two-two pitch. It's going to be a fly ball into right field again. And this one's going to hook into the foul territory and drop foul, just out of the reach of Hyde.
Jeremy Hyde's got pretty good range for a big guy.
Yeah, he's getting over there quickly and making the plays closer than they might usually be.
So deuces are wild across the board. Good looking pitch there,
That one,
inside edge of the plate.
just
Mercado
barely.
does not agree. But the padded man with the mask says it is, and that's out. But not before Niles Goins hits in a 2-run shot. Give the Pacers a 7-3 lead going to the top of the 6th. We'll be right back right after this.
And welcome to the top of the 6th inning. Pacers leading 7-3, and Dominic DeVille will lead it off for Montevallo. And that one's going to be foul tipped into the glove of Schoen for an 0-1 count. That one fouled straight back this time. And the count quickly 0-2. Grounded up the middle and through for a base hit to lead off the 5th. Not the 5th, the 6th.
Catcher, Tyler Krabby.
And that will bring up Tyler Krabby. 0 for 2 today. Flown out to left both times. So So the runner on first, Krabby digs in and lines the first pitch foul into the Pacer bullpen. And the 0-1 pitch is inside, evening the count at 1-1. Tried to check his swing, unable to, and the count now 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch. That will be grounded past the diving Ammerman into left field for a base hit. Back-to-back base hits put the leadoff men on first and second. That'll bring up J.D. Minor.
That was one of those tough plays for Ammerman. He got there. He just was so busy trying to get there, he forgot to put his glove on the ball. It went right underneath his glove.
So now runners on first and second with nobody out from Minor, who is 0 for 2. Struck out and grounded into a fielder's choice.
Got us a little strategizing going on here. Is sending out signals to the infield.
Infield playing in along the corners. And Marlowe steps off the rubber for a moment. Show a bunt there. Pitch is high for ball 1.
Boy, Max Schoen had popped up like a ninja, ready to just unleash the ball, but nobody was ready for it. Startled me how quickly he jumped up.
Another show a bunt here, and it's going to be bunted down the third base line. Banks throws to first, and it is there in time for the second out.
Has a good looking play by Banks.
No, it should be the first out. I think the scoreboard's
you're
wrong.
right. I think they got a little excited. There
Yep.
we go.
Yeah, okay, it is the
fixed.
first out.
But, Banks was having a little hard time making that throw to first last week, and it looks like he's dialed that in. So now it definitely was a great throw.
Yeah, charging in and getting an accurate throw there. So now with one down and runners on second and third, we'll see Matthew Ferrudo. 2 for 3 today with 2 singles and a run scored.
I think if we were to play a third game today, you'd be calling him Ferrudo.
Ferrudo, maybe.
You were nailing his name perfectly, and it's funny.
Oh, I mean, as the day goes by, it is a doubleheader, so.
We're all a little punchy, but it'd almost be worth it to play a third game just
to hear it. Well, I've started calling Pardo Prado.
Yes, you did. That's awesome.
So count is 0-2 to Ferrudo.
I know we can see how many people are watching the broadcast. I'd be curious to see how many people are actually still listening to us.
That's true.
As Brent Hager holds up a 0. The confidence is overwhelming, but I appreciate it and respect it.
So that pitch missing high for a 1-2 count. And the 1-2 in the dirt evens the count at 2-2. 2-2 pitch. It's going to be popped up into center field. Price is hustling over for it. And it's going to be Goings who makes the catch, but the runners are going to tag. And one run will score, and the other one is going to make it into third on the sac fly by Ferrudo.
Shortstop, Dane Hutchin.
And with that, the score will be 7-4. And Dane Hutchin coming to the plate. 1 for 3 today with a single and a run scored. There's a runner on third and 2 down. That one's going to be a high fly ball into shallow center field. And Mercado there to make the catch for the third and final out of the 6th. We're going into the bottom of the 6th. Pacers leading 7-4. And welcome to the bottom of the 6th inning. Pacers leading 7-4, and Chaz Powell will lead off the half of the inning.
And his walk-up song's got us all feeling some kind of way.
And a fly ball into right field. And Hyde is there to make the catch for the first out. 1 pitch, 1 out.
The first baseman, Brian Pereira.
And that will bring up Brian Pereira. Pereira is 0 for 2 today with a walk and a run scored and a strikeout. First pitch to Pereira misses for ball 1. And that one's also going to miss, making the count 2-0. Swing and a miss. That was a fences swing there for Pereira. And the count out 2-1. And that one missing outside. Count 3-1 to Pereira. And that one's going to miss inside, so Pereira will draw the 1-out walk.
Now That'll bring Zach Moon up to the plate as Pereira trots down to first.
Hitter, Zach Moon.
Zach Moon 1 for 2 today. Hit by a pitch, has a single, fielder's choice, and has scored 2 runs. And it's looking like we're going to have a change in pitchers.
Yeah, it looks like Chris Pateo is going to come up to the mound. So while he does that and gets his warm-up pitches in, we're going to give you a chance to go top off your drinks. We'll be right back right after this.
And welcome back, folks. We're still in the bottom of the 6th inning with Zach Moon coming to the plate. He'll be facing off against Chris Pateo. Pereira's over on first as he drew the walk. And the Pacers are leading 7-4. And the first pitch to Moon is outside for ball 1. And a check throw over to Pereira.
That was close.
Very close.
Pereira, it looked like he forgot to put his hand down to get to the bag, and had that throw been on the mark, he'd have been toast. A little lapse in focus there. You're not taking that big of a lead off.
And the 1-0. Outside part of the plate for strike 1.
Home plate umpire has been consistent on that call all day here in game 2.
And the 1-1. Same spot. Count out 1-2. Almost the same spot, but a little bit lower, and that'll even the count at 2-2.
That was a great pitch for that moment. It'd be hard to lay off of it when you watch 2 of them almost in the same spot get called for strikes. A little low and a hair farther out than the other 2. And he gets them to chase that one, and it could be a double play ball.
There's 1. Throw to first in time for 2. And that will end the inning. Pacers still up 7-4 as we go into the top of the 7th. And we're going into the top of the 7th inning with the Pacers leading the Falcons 7-4. And leading off for Montevallo will be Jeremy Hyde. He is 1 for 2 today with an RBI double his last time up.
And Calvo comes out right off the bat. I guess that's a ball. Looked like a strike.
It was a good-looking pitch, but umpire didn't like it enough, so fresh out of the bullpen, Calvo deals ball 1. Swing and a miss there. No doubt about that one being a strike. And the count is even at 1-1. And the 1-1 pitch finding the strike zone, making the count 1-2.
Calvo righty throwing from far right edge of the rubber.
One, two, just barely missing, evens the count at 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's going to be popped up into center field, and Price is going to have to go back for this one, and he's on just about the track, and there for the catch.
Yeah, to catch that one at the wall. Didn't look like it came off his bat that solid, but
He just kept carrying, yeah. He used up almost every bit of field you possibly could, and that will bring up Taylor Walker. 1 for 2 today with a base hit and reaching on a fielder's choice. First pitch in there for strike 1.
Calvo looking loose on the mound for this little bit of work so far.
And the 0-1. Also in there for strike 2, and the count quickly 0-2. O2 pitch. That'll be fouled off, and we'll have to redo it.
Calvo took a good bit off of that one.
Once again, the 0-2 pitch will also be fouled off. And again, the 0-2. Missing outside. Count out 1-2. That one fouled back. Keeping the count at 1-2. Just barely missing, and the count now even at 2-2. Grounded to short. Emmerman there. Throw to first. In time for the second out.
The left fielder, Daniel Pardo.
This is going to bring Daniel Pardo to the plate.
Pardo 0 for 3 today. And that pitch low for ball one. And the 1-0. Finding the outside part of the plate, evening the count at 1-2. Foul tip. And the count is now 1-2. That one fouled off, keeping the count right where it is at 1-2. One-two pitch, just inside, almost hitting Pardo, but it'll even the count at 2-2. Two-two pitch, also going to come inside, and the count is now full.
Three-two pitch.
Me a hopper to Emmerman at short. Long throw to first, in time for the third and final out of the seventh. We're going into the bottom of the seventh and seventh inning stretch. Pacers still up, 7-4.
And we're back here at the bottom of the seventh. Pacers lead 7-4 as Max Schoen leads off. what we hope to be an offensive onslaught.
And the first pitch
called strike.
Schoen is 2 for 2 today. 2 singles, a sac fly, and a run scored. And the 0-1 pitch, also finding part of the plate. Kind of quickly, 0-2.
Max Schoen's last at bat, he was a RBI fly out, I believe.
He singled his last time up and came around to score. Yep.
My memory is really not working for me today.
Ground ball to short. There's the throw to first, and there's the first out.
Center fielder number 1, Mitchell Price.
And Mitchell Price coming up. 3-run home run back in the first. Makes him 1 for 3 on the night. And the first pitch to Price is going to hit him right in the back. And he'll head on down to first to put a runner on first with 1 out.
First baseman, John Banks.
John Banks coming up. 0 for 1 today with a strikeout and 2 walks. That ball's going to miss for ball 1. That pitch going to find the strike zone to even the count at 1-1. And throw over to first, and Price just barely manages to dive back in time.
Falcons fans believing he was out. Looks like they had a legitimate complaint there. But it's good to be a Pacer today, at least at this moment.
And the 1-1 pitch popped up, shallow right field, and that could drop in, and it will drop foul.
Barely dropping foul.
So the count is 1-2 to Banks. And we're going to have to wait just a little bit as Pateo steps off the rubber. There's a liner into left field, and that'll drop in for a base hit. That'll put runners on first and second with only 1 out.
Now Brigham now going to last ball he hit is still going.
Right fielder, Niall Golding.
No, if it hadn't hit the light, it would still be going.
True that. I mean, that's hitting it a ton. I've only seen a handful of Pacer batters be able to send it that well out of here.
And one of those things that you don't even have to wait till it hits the ground. You know it's gone. He's got runners on first and second with 1 out.
They're going to keep that ball away from him as much as possible. With Tyler Emmerman on deck. You'd rather take your chances with him. At least you'll keep it in the ballpark. Nile is either a K or a long ball.
Yeah.
Very little in between for him.
And Price playing a little mind games over there on second base. Managed to have Pateo step off.
I recommend the Jedi mind trick, as it's quite effective.
Only on the weak-minded.
That's true. I can't say this kid is that, but that's a good hit by Nile Goins, so that's going to be an RBI.
Yep, Price coming in. The throw home is off the mark and not nearly in time. And Banks will move over to third on the throw.
So that puts runners on the corner for Tyler Ammerman. Good piece of hitting by Nile Goins and making me look like I need his help, but I look a little silly because the K or long ball for him, but he went small ball on me.
It was a very well hit small ball, though.
Yes, it was. Good hit. And having a speedy Mitchell Price on second doesn't hurt the RBI count much as he's able to get in.
That's Goings' fourth RBI of the night with the sac fly and the two-run home run. So a very productive night for Goings as we'll look at Tyler Emmerman, who doesn't have any RBIs tonight, but he is 2 for 3 with a single and a double. And he'll let the first pitch go by for strike one. The 0-1. One will miss, evening the count at 1-1. That pitch outside, and the count is now 2-1. There's a ground ball to short. They'll flip to second for one. The throw to first is in time for the double play. But Pacers will get one more as they extend their lead to 8-4 going into the top of the 8th inning. And welcome to the top of the 8th inning, folks. Pacers leading the Falcons 8-4, and Thomas Brady will lead off. Brady is 2 for 3 today with a single, a ground out, and a home run. First pitch on the outside part of the plate for strike one. The 0-1 pitch and be grounded foul. Looking like it was in the field of play, but it must have hit off of him as he swung and made a little bit of contact.
That was a good call. As all those things happened. Would have been tough to see, but you heard it. For an 0-2 count.
Oh-2 pitch, and that's outside for ball one. Almost looked like he was going to offer at it. One, two, just barely going to miss the strike zone there, evening the count at 2-2. High fly ball into right field. Goings chasing after it, and he's just going to let it go into the Falcon bullpen. Prepare your phones or computers hooks. I'm just going to adjust the lighting for a moment. Two-two pitch again, and another foul ball out of play. That'll be a grounder into right field for a base hit to lead off the eighth inning.
The designated hitter, Dominic DeVille.
And that'll bring up Dominic DeVille. 2 for 3 today with 2 base hits and a strikeout. First pitch to DeVille is outside and low for ball one. One 0 is going to be grounded down third base line and foul. So 1-1 count to DeVille with a runner on first and nobody out here in the top of the eighth inning of an 8-4 ball game. That one is fouled backwards and out of play. And with that, the count will be 1-2. That pitch missing, evening the count at 2-2. Fly ball into center field. Price tracking it down and making the catch for the first out.
The catcher, number 20, Tyler Krabby.
That'll bring up Tyler Krabby, 1 for 3 today with a base hit. That pitch finding the strike zone for an 0-1 count. Missing outside, evens the count at 1-1. One pitch, that's on the corner of the plate there, and the count 1-2. One-two pitch, fouled off, and it'll have to be redone. Snap throw over to first. Brady able to dive back in time, though. And the 1-2. That's going to miss low, evening the count at 2-2. That's going to be a ground ball into left field for a base hit. And that'll put runners on first and second with only one down.
Good piece of hit by Krabby there.
Third baseman, J.D. Minor. The pinch hitter.
Michael Simmons is coming up to plate.
Michael Simmons.
So Michael Simmons into bat for J.D. Minor. And that pitch is on the outside part of the plate for strike one. And that pitch on the inside part of the plate this time for strike two. Oh, 0-2 pitch going to miss inside and low for ball one. One-two pitch. That one's also inside.
Good job by Sean to keep that one from going back to the backstop as well. He had to make some athletic moves back there at catcher.
Shows that he's more than just a good bat.
That's right. Count is 2-2.
That one fouled off. Keeping the count right where it is.
Calvo trying to go outside with that one. He's been busting them inside the last 3 straight pitches. Tried to fool him with that one, but he's able to get a little bit of a bat on it. Count 2-2. Runners on first and second with one out here at the top of the 8th.
Grounded foul down the first base line. Cowboys just been having a little bit of trouble getting that third strike. They seem to keep fouling it off every which way.
Well, this guy's a tough out, obviously. Coach saw this as a benefit to their team's effort, being down by 4. You kind of see he's not a bad at bat. He's battling.
2-2 inside part of the plate, and down looking goes Simmons for the second out.
And that was a fastball right in on the inner edge of the plate.
Matthew Ferrudo.
And that will bring up Matthew Ferrudo. 2 for 3 today with 2 singles, a run scored, and a sac fly. He's rocking that neon green bat again.
You're about to say the exact same words. That's something you need to go to talk to a therapist about. If we're on the same
I don't know why would I want to. I can read minds now, apparently, though. Of course, that could be a bad thing.
Good looking pitch there, catching the outer edge for strike 1.
So 0-1 the count to Ferrudo. That one missing outside, even in the count at 1-1. One pitch in there for strike 2, and the count 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that'll do it for the top of the 8th. Pacers going to the bottom of the 8th, still leading 8-4. And Skyler Mercado to lead off the bottom of the 8th inning for the Pacers as they lead Montevallo 8-4. Mercado is 1 for 4 today with a double and a run scored back in the first inning. And that one's going to be hit foul for strike 1. And the 0-1. That's high, evening the count at 1-1. Even Mercado's girlfriend looks like she's about ready to leave. She's kind of leaning up against the pole, like, okay, let's just get this over with. And that one grounded foul. Count 0-2. Pitch. That'll be a hopper over the mound. And the quick throw to first is in time. Excellent play there by Hutchin to get to that ball.
It may have been the slowest developing play in the history of baseball.
Left fielder number 12, Chaz Powell.
As Chaz Powell comes to the plate.
And Powell 0 for 3 today with a walk.
And like a drifter, he was born to walk alone.
And he did walk alone, made it to first, and that was it. Nobody else. And we're getting the mute button pushed on us as this pitch comes in for strike one.
The proverbial mute button by our sports information director, Brent Hager. Fine individual you have to thank for bringing us to this place. As that ball's a little drive to center field, easily played. Hardly a step taken for out number 2. That's going to bring Zach Moon.
Oh, Brian Pereira, actually.
I mean,
Moon's coming to get the bat.
Getting the bat, that's right. Moon walks. You get to the bat. There's a little meeting on the mound. Oh, we're going to have a pitching change here for the Falcons. So, close the book.
Now in from the Montevallo bullpen, the left-handed freshman out of Alexandria, Alabama. Wearing number 37, Justin Whitley.
Justin Whitley is going to come onto the mound for the Falcons. So while he gets warmed up, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
And with Justin Whitley, the new pitcher on the mound, we'll see Brian Pereira come up with nobody on and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning of an 8-4 Pacer ball game.
So a lefty on lefty matchup here.
And Pereira's going to hit a good fly ball into center field, but it's going to curve right to Brady.
So Whitley with 1 pitch.
And that'll do it for the bottom of the 8th. Going into the top of the 9th, Pacers looking to close it out here and now. And welcome to the top of the 9th inning. Dane Hutchin to lead it off for Montevallo as the Pacers look to Jared Felix to close it out. Defensive changes for the Pacers. Niall Goings has moved from right field to left field, and Luke Westerberg has taken over at right. And Joey Smithers is now standing over at second base. And that's a ground ball into right field for a base hit to lead off the 9th.
The right fielder, Jeremy Hyde.
That'll bring up Jeremy Hyde with a runner on first and nobody out. And Kenny Thomas is coming out and motioning to the bullpen. So one pitch, and that's it for Jared Felix. We're going to take a break here while the new pitcher warms up. So Connor Riley is the new Pacer pitcher, as they'll look to him to try to close this out, with a runner on first and nobody out, facing off against Jeremy Hyde. First pitch going inside for ball 1. Hyde is 1 for 3 today with an RBI double and a walk. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Evens the count at 1-1.
So Jeremy backs up and tightens his gloves, realizing I need to tighten my gloves to make this at bat a little bit more effective.
To each their own, I guess. Here's the 1-1. That one's going to be hit fouling out of play, making the count 1-2.
Time to take a shot at the team bus over there. It's a rental, so more power to him.
I don't know, I'd be a little more concerned if it's a rental.
Who was the shortstop for the Boston Red Sox that always fiddled with his gloves?
Oh, Garcia Parra? Was that him?
No more Garcia Parra. That pitch called for a strike. Nice looking slider there.
You know, despite liking the Yankees, I actually had a lot of respect for Garcia Parra.
He's a Georgia Tech man. That's going to bring Walker to the plate.
Walker is 1 for 4 today with a base hit, strikeout, and reaching on a fielder's choice. The runner on first and 1 down. And lets the first pitch go by for ball 1. Going back to Garcia Parra, he had to have the longest at bat ever because after every pitch he just
adjust all his gloves. It was almost like a little miniature ballet the way he would work that glove.
Ground ball to second. Throw to second is not gonna happen.
And he gets the tag.
The tag.
But he loses it on the transition from his glove to his throwing hand.
And a look at a moment of confusion there, and Montevallo's coach is gonna come on out and have a little chat. And now the first base coach is going to have a little chat with the home plate umpire about this as well.
Left fielder, number 4, Daniel Pardo.
And that will bring up Daniel Pardo. 0 for 4 today with a strikeout. Comes up with a runner on first and 2 down. As the Falcons trail the Pacers 8-4 here in the top of the 9th inning. First pitch catching the outside part of the plate for strike 1. That's going to be a high fly ball into center field. And Price is calling for it, and he will make the catch for the final out of the game. So the Pacers split the doubleheader and take the series 2-1, winning this game 8-4. We'll be back in action again versus Albany State when they make their first appearance at Roberto Hernandez Stadium on March 29th at 6 p.m. And then we'll have another matchup. Our next home matchup after that will be April 13th against Newberry at 6:30. Thank you for tuning in to watch the game. I'm Marcus Johnson, and have a good one.